Hey there. Have you ever had the feeling that a woman might like you, but you just weren't sure? She didn't say it, she didn't make a move, but something felt different. The way she looked, a two lingered around or smiled for a zucon too long. Here's the truth, we a woman is into you. She rarely tells you, instead, she shows it in quiet, subtle ways. Ways most men completely miss. In today's video, you're breaking down 5 subtle signs she's secretly into you, based on real male psychology and evolutionary behavior. These aren't just random these are patterns rooted in how women test for emotionality, confidence, and all without saying a word. We'll look at how she uses space-time attention, and even small emotional testo, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to respond with calm, clarity, maneuver thinking, or guessing. You've ever walked away from a conversation wondering, was she just being friendly or wastier, something more? Stay with me's. Once you learn to read the sissons, your confidence changes, your relationship saying, and if everything starts to make a lot more sense. Let's get into it. She creates opportunities. Number 1. She creates opportunities to around you. Subtly, but intentionally, woman rarely walks up to a man and sees plainly, "I like you." That's not how her interest expresses itself. Instead, it slips in like a soft, breezy throw. Small coincidences that aren't coincidental yet, your usual coffee spat, though she never mentioned liking it before. She lingers in conversation to you. Thought we're ending mixed fog but open-ended plans like Westhold hangouts sometime without pushing for a date. These are not empty gestures, they are gentle invitations for men who expect directness. These moments are often missed. But women love or desire they approach it with nuance. Wench creates opportunities to around you. Even if subtly, it often signals openness and a quiet hope that you'll read between the lines. Not every invitation will be loud. In fact, the softer it is, the more risk she's taking in her way, because behind that casual smile and offhand comment is a question. Will you notice? Will you step in with grounded attention or pass it off a snubbing? This isn't just flirtation. Emotional is. She's testing whether your awareness runs deeper than her face's signals, whether you're present, whether your masculine frame can recognize a window-off connection and dress without desperation. Most men miss the cue entirely or jump into forcefuling to secure certainty. But the relance lies in acknowledging inner geisha's offering without rushing to claim or explain it. The Stoics remind us that clarity begins with observation. When a woman shows up in your orbit, more nence with no logical reason. When her presence extends past sociopolitino genuine accuracy, when her words carry just now ambiguity to invite being unclear, she's being deliberate, she's offering you a quiet stitch to reveal how you operate. Once spelled out, a woman's emotional innocence is high. Shanada's tone changes and body language shifts. The way a hunter tracks wind patterns. If she's placing herself within reach of your attention, she's watching what you owe with that gift. Will you remain grounded and calm? Or will you lean too far forward? In neediness, the man hook mirrors her presence without pressure, creates space for her desire. Tog grow. It's easy to confuse a tutly with indecision. But subtlety is a form of emotional intelligence. It's how many women manage risk in romantic interactions. It protects her dignity while still expressing interest. You learn to listen with more than just your ears, to feel timing, body language, and consistency. You'll realize that many mixed signals are in mix at all. There are clear messages disguised as casuals. Stan who knows how to read those messages doesn't chase but also doesn't leap bolts out, not because he plays games, but because he pays attention. He mean clarity headances with ham bigot earns trust, throw presence, pressure when she makes room in her world. For you, she's inviting you to notice her intention with that averting her boundaries. She's giving you a memento respond. Not just with words but with understanding, and you can do that with Steven Skreschel. Feels safer opening that door even wider. She pays more attention to appearance. Number 2 pays more yacht and chin to her appearance. When seeing you, there remnants when a woman fascinating at a liar everything about Harry, speaking the subtle shine in her hair. It's the deliberate teto off feels over sneakers or the off perfume thattlinger's ass walks by. It's not a coincidence. Choices are random. When a woman pays more attention to how she looks in your presence, she's not just expressing self. She's, and surely does this for someone you who doesn't matter. Men often overlook this signal, misreading it as vanity or dismissing it entirely. But Eamon, who understands FALP psychologists, the deeper message. A woman sent crisp attention to her, especially when it goes by. What the setting demands is not simply a bid for generic attention. Eyes an invitation for connection. She's not trying to set a sail in the theatrical way pop culture often portrays. Rather, she is placing value in the interaction before even begins. Her preparation is any emotional investment. She fixes her hair because it's out off, but Beck 'cause you're there. She chooses a dress that flatters her figure, or not because F-Day requires it, but because she's aware. You'll notice these aren't acts of desperation. They're a quiet acts in her world. Effort equals intention, and she makes herself more visible, more refined. She's extending a hand that says, see me not just as EO, but as I want to be seen by you. Stoic wisdom reminds us that awareness is more powerful than reaction. Calm/man descent, rush to flatter. He doesn't lento nervous chatter. He observes, understands, and holds his ground. His presence isn't inflated by praise, nor is his attention given cheaply. He notices, but doesn't chase. And ironically, that restraint is what makes her feel truly seen. Most women want a man who is discerning. Most women want a man who is captivated by a very beautiful face. They want the man is the man with gaze holds weight when you notice her efforts and meet them with steady grounded nori. Note approval, seeking behavior. You creation, emotional feedback loop, that deep ensure attraction. You show her that Wildbot is appreciated. It's not a tool for your manipulation. You are not dazzled by appearance alone, but you respect the intention bandit. There's a difference between flattery and recognition. Flattery is reactive. Recognition is deliberate. The man quickly picks up on her or notice extra care. She's put into hero outfit without rushing to verbalize it. Cretesta, quiet tension, a space where attracts shangros in the unspoken. In that space, Sheffield's seen not judged, admired, not objectified, and many men overlooked. 80 women rarely dress up, just fourth Marisha's putting in more effort. When she dows she'll see you sending a message, it may not be direct, but it is intentional, and your ability to read between the lines without loss encompasses SBS volumes about your maturity. So instead of asking for signs or waiting for bold gesture, paying attention, tough subtleties. Notice how her energy shifts around you, and notice how she prepares for your presence. If Shaw's making an effort to look at besties giving you something more than a compliment, she's showing you that you matter and how you respond or reveals kind of man you are. She allows you into her personal space. Number 3, she allows you into her personal space naturally. You can learn a lot about woman, not by what she says, but by what allows. When a woman starts to open the door to her personal space, emotionally or physically, it's never by accident, it's a subtle signal of trust, comfort, and deeper interested. Most men rush past or complete share pieces of purpose that carry weight. She tells you stories about her childhood, her family, her wounds, and her wins. These aren't just casual anecdotes. They're quiet imitations into her interior world places. She doesn't offer to just anyone, she initiates conversions or replies to your messages promptly with warmth energy. She's not just being polite, she's showing that you're on Herman, and a connection with you is not chaby desire. She may even physicalness. A light touch on the shoulder, a moment where she leans in during a shared laugh without withdrawing or tensing. That's not to be taken as permission for escalation, but for their a sign that feels safe in your presence. Menemon, get this wrong. They interpret himness as a green light taxilate tosum, ownership orment over feelings orbity. But a woman's trust is not a pastopilig when she lowers her guard. It's not because she's weak. It's because this is emotional maturity and off masculinity that doesn't grab orchespit studies and observes this. Is where a stoic mindset becomes essential. The stoic man does not rush to claim, recognizes that intimacy is not owed. I discerned through composure, consistency, and calm. When a woman begins to softear around you, the right response isn't to react, but to hold that momently. A yob come. Emmanuel listens moreathon, he lectures. Hanadus says more, bands amassed. True closeness is never created through pressure. It is invite through presence. The man who understands this doesn't need to perform. His emotional stillness speaks for itself. And in that stillness, a woman feels something rare. Freed to befully herself without fear of being used or judged. Them might not seem loud. They often come quietly in the way she lingers after goodbye. And how Shamir is your posture without realizing to infestive from guarded tupan eyes. Ooh, but the real, and if you pay attention, the will tell you far more of, inward sever. Don't rush thin folding. A woman's true affection reveals itself not in how quickly she gives, but in how deeply when she begins to let you in. It's not because you'd minded her trust, it's because you've became the kind afman who doesn't need to ask further. Emotions. shows subtly but genuingly. Number 4. Her emotion shows subtly but genuinely. In the world of male-female connection, most men search for certainty in words. They wait for a confession, a compliment, or a clear sign of interest. But women rarely express desire through direct statements. Instead, they reveal it through subtle shifts in energy and unconscious signals, movements, and moments that, while easy to miss, carry powerful meaning when observed consciously. Interested woman won't always tell you, but she might lean in a little closer when you speak. Her tone may rise light when she greets you, or soften when she spins or laugh comes easier around you. Even when the joke doesn't land with anyone else, you may notice her glance at you when she thinks you're not paying attention. These are not random accidents, they're instinctive cues. Women are emotionally attained and communicate technique through presence more than pronouncement. This is where many men go wrong. They overvalue the verbal and overlook visceral. They analyze a text and conversations but miss the tilt-off harity when she listens, or the way her pupils dilate when she smiles. They ask what did she say, instead of how did she show up. But feminine interest is more often felt and stated, and it doesn't come in, it repeats itself. Set subtle, genuine behavior patterns are far more reliable than a single compliment or a flirtation from a grounded mindset. This makes sense. Woman, feels emotionally safe and attracted. Rush to declare it. She expresses through invitation. Note instruction. Her openness is shown in how often she finds a reason to stay near you, how her energy shifts when you enter a room, and whether she included Sue in her gazewan. The room grows quiet. These are the signs that revel more than words ever could. A man who's emotionalized centered pays attention. These cues not with desperation, but with discernment. He does not demand clarity from her mouth when her behavior has already spoken. He understands that genuine connection emerges in the turns, not the exceptions. He listens with high sighs. He observes without singing, and by doing so, he allows her to revel herself without pressure or performance. Stoic insight reminds youth the truth lies in action, no on tension. You cannot control what she says or whether she's bold enough to express herself openly, but you can watch, you can sense, and most importantly, you can remain compensating her signals, come to you, rather than grasping for validation. A woman's attraction is not proven in a nude. It is revealed over time through acquiescent consistency that rewards the patient and perceptive man. So if you notice her eyes linger longer than the should, or her voice soft, Shaw speaks your name, don't dismiss it when she finds joy in your presence or seeks out small ways to stay connected. Pay attention, you're not imagining it. These are the whispers of attraction, and the man who knows how to listen to them without reacting too soon become a stitch, feels safest opening up to subtly tests your emotional responses. Number 5. She subtly tests your emotional responses. It happens quietly, almost instantly. A question like, would you even care if it hung out with my ex, slips into the conversation, aptly full jab at your jobber. Your outfit lands with a smirk. She casually mentions another man's in a passing just now. To gauge your energy and enthapment, a man is presented with a either react into violent security, or remain grounded in divine strength. What many men fail to realize is that these small moments aren't designato hurt or belittle them. They are instinctive. Was a woman measures your emotional and the depth of your self-trust. A woman who sly tests was trying to pick a fight. She's trying to answer an unspoken question. Can I feel safe with you? Emotionality, whether she knows it consciously or not. These tests, rooted in biology and soithrid evolutionary story. A woman's ability to survive and raise offspring depended heavily on her partner's emotional and mental stability. The man who fell apart under pressure wasn't a protector. The man who remained grounded, however, especially under social, emotional, or physical pressure, became a beacon of safety. This isn't about being stoic and the sense of stone-faced tent. It's about having an internal calm that isn't shaking. Bovie gust of emotional wind shall lightly provokes you. She's looking to see if you're reactive or if you lose your composure at mention o fatherman, or be commensio over a joke. What you're saying is my emotions are dependent on your behavior, and once she feels that a quake respect begins. Todzolve, on the other hand, if you meether test with lightness.com, voice steady eye contact, maybe then a playful have sent a different message entirely. You show her that you're centrist, not for Sally. Her emotions can move through space between you without disrupting the structure of who you are. That your sense of self isn't up for negotiation. She might challenge your ego, but what she's showing for is to find your essence, and to feel an unmoved. Take for example, a woman who says, I rent to me ex today. He looked good, Mosman would either ignore it awkwardly octaloose, or pretend they did die, doing silently. But the self-possessed men might say, good for him. I like it when people take care of themselves and move on without a bank. That isn't indifference, it's maturity. It tells her I know my value doesn't drop just because someone else exists. And when you respond like this consistently, in the dynamic, she starts leaning in emotionally. Her defenses soften. Why? Because you've just proven again and again that you are her emotional anchor, not her emotion. I'll project thymal emotional challenges, no tunique, to dating. Either long-term relate, served with mints. When a woman will test your emotional boundaries, not out of spite, but out of OVF, need to feel the continued presence. Off masculine intruder, the man who gets flustered over every mood swings, sharp word or subtle provocation loses ground. But manhole, to navigate these waters, one either overreacts, nor devotes a form of silent admiration that words rarely express. This is the core of masculine emotionality. You don't control her. You didn't try to fix her. Okay, and you don't panic when things get comfortable. You lead by presence. And presence is proven when things are calm. But when they are not, just like Asha's Captain Eisenley revealed in a storm, a man's emotional mastery isn't real. When he's tested, one of the most overlooked truths in mod is that a woman's emotional tests are actually example. They're hopeful that you're different. Hopeful that you'll remain when others fall apart. Hopeful that the man sitting across from her isn't just a performer in the honeymoon phase. Bushan in self-calm next time she says something that feels like a jab, don't flinch. Look deeper heart subtext beneath her words. Respond with calm confidence and maybe even a little humor. And above all, never verge up her control over your emotional state. Because the moment you show her through her storms don't throw you off. Of course, she doesn't just feel attracted, she feels safe in safety and the world offer real intimias. So, as we've explored today, attraction doesn't always announced with loud gestures or dramatic words, often to most new signs. A really quiet, one-off subtle shifts in presence, tone, and energy that speak volus, if we're calm and grounded on to notice them. Women be natural and social. Experience of more attuned to motion think, they express interest with nuance senate with a spotlight to understanding. These soft signals is not decoding a game. It's a boot learning to slow down, observe, and connect more deeply. When a woman chooses to be near you, opens up space in her world. For your Thosman of emotional honesty to surface, she's not demanding anything. She's inviting something. That invitation is just about her interest. It's also a BOI. Well, you can listen without forcing sense, without assuming, and without rushing. The more emotionally grounded and self-aware you become, the clearer those signals become and the more like a loop are to form meaningful mutual or respect relations. This isn't about chasing zings or reacting to every gesture. It's about showing up as a mono leads with calm strength, emotional clarity, and quiet confidence because when you know your worth, you didn't chase, you recognize. Thank you for being here and giving your attention to so my missing many men overlook the emotional and psychological side of Patreon. Hope today's video help it shine a light on something you've experienced but maybe never fully understood. It did. I'd love to hear from you Javotis. These subtle signals in Simeon's behavior. How did you respond? What have you learned from your journey with attraction and connection? Feel free though, share your insights and story comments below. Your experiences can't really help others grow too. And if you found this video valuable, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. There's so much more we'll be covering on relationships, human intelligence, and becoming fend-off man who connects with others in an authentic, powerful way. Thank you all again for watching and until next time, stay observed and stay calm and keep you bicking the best.